This is the most closely watched and one of the most heavily funded U.S. Senate races in the country.
Former governors Tim Kaine and George Allen squared off in the third of 5 debates, and neither made any serious stumbles. The first major issue debated was the 47%.
And Andy Fox watched it. He joins us now with the wrap-up. Andy?
Nicole and Tom, 47%. That is the number Mitt Romney said is the electorate that will never vote for him because they are beholden to government handouts. It is that issue that took up the first 7 minutes of the debate. The debate made clear neither candidate wants to talk specifically about the 47% Mitt Romney talks about.
I mean, the president starts off with 48, 49, 40. He starts off with a huge number. These are people who pay no income tax. 47% of Americans pay no income tax.
NBC's David Gregory pressed the issue that Romney thinks the 47% believe they are victims who believe the government has a responsibility to take care of them. Tim Kaine asked whether the 47% should pay some federal income tax.
You can say something off the cuff that you regret, but I really deeply disagree with the sentiment expressed by Governor Romney.
That was not the question. Gregory tried again.
I don't meet Virginians who think they're victims. And the notion that they need to have people take personal responsibility for them is, frankly, condescending and divisive.
Again, Gregory pushed Kaine to answer.
Do you believe that everyone in Virginia should pay something in federal income tax?
Well, everyone pays taxes. I mean, the statistics that have come out.
I'm asking about federal income tax.
I would be open to a proposal that would have some minimum tax level for everyone.
Kaine seemed flustered. Allen doesn't want to talk about it either.
My view is the best social program of all is a job. If somebody has a job, they're taking care of themselves and providing for their families.
Allen reminded how, as governor, he initiated welfare reform in Virginia, but Gregory had to push Allen too.
So you would part company with Governor Romney on this point?
Excuse me?
Would you disagree with Governor Romney on this point?
I have my own point of view, and my point of view is the people of America still believe in the American dream.
Here's why neither candidate wants to answer that question. In the Virginia U.S. Senate race, average 3 polls released yesterday, Kaine leads Allen 50% to 43%. Over 1 million Virginians make up that 47% that do not pay any federal income tax. There is a clear gender gap in the race also. Women favor Kaine by 14 points over Allen. Allen gave no explanation for why he thinks that is. Kaine jumped on it.
When George Allen was in Congress, he repeatedly voted against Family Medical Leave Act. He's supported the Blunt Amendment to enable employers to take away contraceptive coverage for their employees.
They don't want to talk about the 47%. Almost all of Allen's answers included the troubled economy and jobs. Kaine bemoaned the frosty relations in Congress. Tonight at 6, Allen asked about the issue that cost him his Senate seat 6 years ago, and Kaine talks government cuts that could cost Virginia thousands of jobs. I'm Andy Fox, 10 on your side.